Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It is Tuesday, the 14th day of September, 2010. We have civil rights icon, one of the only living civil rights icons who was actually there on the front lines, Dick Gregory, joining us. He's gone completely public for 9/11 Truth with the inside job. He's talking about controlled demolitions of the World Trade Center Tower 1, 2, and 7. He kicked off a hunger strike yesterday. And I was amazed that when I called him to get him on the show, the producer got him on the phone, and I said, hey, I want to talk to Mr. Gregory. And I said, sir, admire a lot of your work standing up against tyranny and being the change you want to see in the world. And he said, well, Dr. Jones. And I said, I'm not a doctor. And he goes, I know, but you're a doctor of, reality, and I admire you and the work you're doing. So just amazing. Dick Gregory, who has a lot of courage, folks. I don't agree with him on all of his ideas and policies, but the point is, he's somebody who stood up for human liberty and dignity, and I respect him for that. To have him be a admirer of our courage and what we do, that was his words. It's just amazing. It shows the huge effect that transcends race, religion, region, basic liberty, basic freedom. So that's coming up. Obviously, gold has hit an all-time high. Silver hitting an all-time high. We told you a couple months ago this was going to happen in the fall because we know the cycles. We understand how the central banks manipulate all of this. That's coming up. Also, I mentioned this yesterday, but now it's really big news. Of course, it's old news to our audience in the last decade or plus. But Ministry of Defense probes claim that soldiers are smuggling heroin from Afghanistan. Probing the claim? Probing the claim? That's like probing the claim that last Thursday night the Vikings and the Saints played in New Orleans. It's a fact they played in New Orleans. In plain view, the CIA told Spy Talk 3 months ago in the Washington Post that they put out fake bin Laden videos. Governor Ridge came out and wrote a book admitting they put out fake terror alerts for political purposes to scare the population into submission. And AP, Reuters, BBC, Fox News, they go out and say, yes, the Marines and Army helped grow the opium. This is how we win the hearts and minds. So, of course, they're also shipping it out. Tens of thousands of tons of pure heroin being processed out of opium every year, flooding the streets of Europe and the United States and Russia and Japan and China. Opium production is up more than 12-fold since 2001 in the invasion. Our government takes over, been caught bringing in cocaine in the 60s, heroin in the 60s, cocaine in the 80s. I mean, there's congressional hearings in 1996 with the CIA Inspector General apologizing for it. I don't like heroin and cocaine. In fact, when I broke my leg and had to have surgery, I wouldn't even take the pain pills after it because it made me feel so nauseous, and I hate the way it made me feel. So I don't like drugs, okay, unless you're talking about coffee. And it's a drug, too, folks. Make no doubt about it. I'm trying to get off it, but I haven't ever kicked the habit yet. The issue here is we must decriminalize this. Look at Mexico. Drugs are illegal. It's imploding because it drives the price up. The criminals come in. They buy off the government. Society implodes. So I want to go back over that today as well. And when we return from break, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm making a film on the subject because it's so important. And when the film comes out, that will chronicle what we're talking about here. But I've done something I should have done a long time ago. And I'll break it down when we get back. This is very frightening, and it's the biggest threat we face domestically. We'll explain it on the other side of this quick break. The websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I tip my hat to the Drudge Report. Another big link today. Thank you, Drudge.
Alex Jones here with urgent information concerning TrendsResearch.com.
The Trends Journal distills the voluminous ongoing research of the Trends Research Institute into a concise, readily accessible form. By tracking 300 separately defined domestic and international trends, the Trends Journal establishes the connections that others fail to see or misinterpret. Gerald Salente's Trends Journal allows you to anticipate change, recognize the implications, and take protective strategies. Individual readers from every walk of life can put the Trends Journal Trends Forecast and Trends Analysis to practical use. Extra information to keep you well informed throughout the year. When any current event of major social, economic, or political significance occurs, Trends Journal notifies its subscribers of their implications. When you subscribe to the Trends Journal, you'll also receive Trends Alerts. Visit trendsresearch.com today. That's trendsresearch.com. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. This information is too important to wait.
You may be arrested and/or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at prisonplanet.tv. Hi folks, this is Alex Jones asking you for a minute of your time to tell you about soap. Not detergents, but good old-fashioned pure soap made by the Cal Ben Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company. My family, staff, friends, and radio listeners are constantly telling me how much they love these products for bath, hair, laundry, and dishes. There is nothing like these factory-direct, big money-saving, triple-concentrated soaps anywhere. Get a free detailed catalog by calling 800-340-7091 or see them online at 5starsoap.com or Infowars.com. Let's talk to the owner of 5 Star Soap, Marty Schachter, and see what he has to say.
As founder and owner for over 63 years, people keep asking me, how's business? I'm happy to say our business is going down the drain. Call us at 1-800-340-7091. Visit our website, 5starsoap.com, for buying our 1 to 2 month soap sampler. Thank you.
We now take you live
to the Central Texas Command Center
in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Life is a test. You're only alive one time. And we all make decisions in life on what we're going to stand for, what side we're going to be on in history. And I want to get into the opium production in Afghanistan and all the evidence of the fact that the British and U.S. governments, the private corporations that control them, and the private contractors are producing and growing and protecting the opium fields and shipping this garbage into our nations. Also, the United States Joint Forces Command warns that huge U.S. debt may lead to military impotence, default, and revolution. What did the British Ministry of Defense say 3 years ago? Same thing. The IMF is worried about total implosion and revolution. That's like if somebody goes and pours gasoline all over your house and lights a fire, then they call the fire department and say, I'm worried a fire may start. The fire's already burning and they started it. But now they're posing as our saviors in this emergency reorganization where they openly set up world government enforced by paramilitary, military, police, and private mercenaries, and carried out with a huge beast tracking control grid of biometrics to buy and sell. This is all happening. It's all rolling out right now. And, of course, gold prices surged to their all-time record of 1,270. Gold and silver explode as banksters abandon market manipulation. Infowars.com, key report on that. Yen hits 15-year high versus the dollar. Bloomberg, gold reaches record, stocks fall on economy concern, yen gains. That's all coming up. And the key, Sunday, on the Sunday broadcast, I went after Republican leader Boehner, who had made a statement saying that he would support just a, quote, middle-class tax cut and allow the tax on the rich to go through. Of course, the rich, they say, are $125,000 individually yearly. After taxes, that's about $70,000. That's not rich. Couples, $250,000, $250,000. That's the main group still buying cars, going to hotels, going to restaurants, putting their children in private school, going to the shopping mall, who run businesses and employ people. And every government study, and they even admit this now, shows that if this tax cut expires, that it's going to further devastate the economy. And Boehner was saying he would support letting some tax cuts expire. Well, now he's backed off of that because of pressure from true conservative constituents, and that's good news, and they're leading the charge to extend all the tax cuts. That's the bare minimum we can do for the economy. But the globalist on record, and I had Mark Moreno on yesterday reading the quotes out of the New York Times, said, yes, we want to shut the economy down. We want to reduce the economy to have a lower carbon footprint. No, they want to shut off the economy to bankrupt you and force you onto government subsidy so they control you. It's called serfdom. But Boehner has come out in Business and Media newspaper and said Obama and Congress intentionally spending to force value-added tax. And there's also a New Hampshire senator, Judd Gregg, is also saying the same thing, that they want to bankrupt the economy to force a total takeover of society. So we're actually getting honesty now. And it's the alternative media and libertarian media and true conservative media, constitutional media, the Constitution Party, Oath Keepers, Chuck Baldwin, Ron Paul, myself, Judge Andrew Napolitano, and others who've got the true credentials of liberty, who've never flip-flopped on freedom, that are forcing this to happen right now and forcing the Democrats to try to keep their move to get rid of these tax cuts in place. Then there'll be an even bigger implosion in the House and Senate. They'll lose almost all their seats, and we'll get some real patriots. A lot of these candidates are actually good in there, and then we can not just get rid of the tax increases, but cut even more. See, you can't compromise, folks. Many of the Founding Fathers put out the quote in different variations of, justice be done though the heavens may fall. I heard a talk show host yesterday saying, oh, well, you know, even if there's evidence of 9/11 being an inside job or the government having prior knowledge and letting it happen or whatever the case is, you know, should we allow this to come out? This could destroy total confidence in the government and everything could collapse. Well, it doesn't matter. I don't think that's the case, but the corrupt forces that have taken over our government, they will collapse. I mean, that's the issue. You've got to do the right thing no matter what happens. And I go back to this, and I want to talk about this now that I'm getting into the economy and a lot of other key issues, because it's important. I don't really know anybody else who's ever been in a syndicated talk show host position who's been offered to be a big, giant national host, who's basically been offered the job that Glenn Beck has before Glenn Beck was even on the scene. And it wasn't hard for me to say no to those offers, because I was told, you'll just be a mainline firebrand Republican. No more of this conspiracy stuff. Besides, Alex, we know it's just a stick. We know you don't mean all this. And I'm like, of course I mean all this. See, I care about the truth, and I care about my family and my family name. I was thinking about this weekend. I had this image or almost vision in my mind of being an old man and having a heart attack and collapsing down on the grass. You know, in this vision or this image I had in my mind, I pictured myself as an old man, and it was so real, and I was collapsing, having a heart attack, and I was in great pain. And as I fell onto the grass, I had this last parting image of my healthy grandchildren, of my children, of a safe society, of a society that guards liberty and honor and defeating the globalist. And that if I can just die